Our next speaker, Kamal Musallam, he's a Jordanian musician, artist and architect, acclaimed internationally for his Arabic fusion musical style, and has released 6 albums since 1999. Kamal also runs his independent record label, KMAC-K&G, since 2001, which supports local and regional talent to release their original works. Can I invite Mr. Kamal Musallam on stage, please?
Good evening. Okay, so it's a concert time now, right? It's like the last and the final is like sweet on the cake. Well, I'll try to make it fun for you. And I've labeled my speech as a sea of strings, a sky of tones, and a world of music. Basically, the most important word in this title, Sea of String, A Sky of Tones, A World of Music, is the word tone. So tone. Tone is a very important word for me. I mean, tone, many of you understand what a tone is in their own way. I mean, tone can be applied in so many fields, right? For example, if we talk colors, we have tones in colors. Each color has its own tones, and that's degrees of colors that have a different reaction to the light, to the sun, etc. But what about tone in music? So simply, we can define it if we look at the basic instrument of music, which is a piano. Piano is considered harmonically a complex instrument, but it shows us the musical tones very easily because they are labeled white and black. So if you look at a piano keyboard, there are notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, but those are not the tones. Those are the notes. So what is a tone, basically? So to define a tone in music, here we go. A tone is basically the distance between two notes like D and E, for example. This is a tone. It's a distance between two frequencies. The frequencies are the notes. The distance between them is the tone. So that's how it is in sound or music. So that tone can be divided, right? It can be a half tone, quarter tone, a part of a tone. So if it's a half tone, well, a half tone in the piano is the black key. The black key comes in the middle, so it basically represents the center distance between two notes. So it's half the tone. And in musical language, this is all written in such a way that we can see the notes, but we cannot see the tones unless we look at the lines. You know, the lines actually define somehow the distance. But many musicians can play instruments and really understand the tone without knowing how to read music. So this is not as important as actually physically understanding the tone or the distance between the notes. Because that's exactly like in phonetics, the syllabus or the parts of a word or the distance between letters while we speak, those are the tones in music. So, if we simplify the piano and just put all the keys, black and white, next to each other without any different of sizes, it will look like this. And that's exactly how you transform a piano into a guitar. So because this black, white, black, white, black, white can be simply drawn in dividers like this that we call frets, and that becomes a guitar. So basically in a guitar, a tone and a half tone is represented in those dividers. And so we can see that a guitar or a piano is exactly the same thing. It's just physically represented differently. So as there are tones in color, there are tones in music. Basically, the way we move up or down, left or right, changes the tone or the tonality. Okay, but then this pointer is a bit slow. We come to something, we've seen the tone, we understood the tone, half a tone, but then what if we go smaller or micro? So we have a quarter tone. But why? Why am I talking about a quarter tone today? A quarter tone actually is a small distance between two frequencies that we can actually find in so many musics around this world. And one of them is Arabic music. Arabic music depends on the quarter tone. The quarter tone itself in Arabic music has a name. We call it Sika. It's like the festival Sika that is going on in Dubai right now. But the Sika, or the quarter tone in Arabic music, is really a traditional sound or an identity of the culture of this region of the world. In some other regions of the world, there is even 1/8 of a tone, like in Greece, or maybe in some Indian music that exists, which is a very small division of that tone that we explained. But you can only feel it. Actually, it's really kind of impossible to see it on an instrument. You have to touch it with your heart, because it's a very small division. But let's speak about the quarter tone. What if I want to play a quarter tone on a piano? The piano has white keys, black keys. They're divided as half tones. So if I want to divide the piano in quarter tones, this piano is going to become like this. So it will have so many keys. That's why, simply over the history, they couldn't make it, because that becomes a very big instrument, so many keys, complex to play. So, on the guitar itself, in the beginning I thought, okay, am I going to do like the piano concept and add dividers everywhere? Or shall we just maybe, since we want to use divisions of this tone, maybe we just, what if we remove everything and this becomes with no frets, like that? Simply we are free. We can use tone, half tone, quarter tone. We can just move around as we want. There's no borders or barriers. And this has been done in many instruments, like the violin, for example. So they have removed all the dividers, while in the past, in the history, violins used to have dividers, like a few hundred years ago, but they decided to remove them. So there is a purpose for that, so that we don't have to stick to a tone or a half tone. We just can go around and express ourselves freely. And in Arabic music, we have the instrument that represents this, which is the oud. Do you know the oud? Good. So I have brought today a modified oud, a oud that we have developed with a maker in Canada to become electric. But at least I will show you now all of what I've talked about. It's too much theory. I will just apply it on an instrument and see where all that lies. The tone, the half tone, and the quarter tone. So, talking about tones, talking about half a tone, talking about the quarter tone, so here we go. It sounds Arabic, right? So you can see in this instrument, maybe you have noticed the freedom I have to play. I have used a lot of articulation, a lot of ornamentation. I was free to move around. And then I expressed my tradition, which is the Arabic. So it's a mixture of things that this removal of barriers allowed me, right? And that's what we call a fretless instrument. All right, but let's say I'm not a oud player. So what can I do? Am I not allowed to play this music, that tradition? That's the question. I mean, if someone have an Arabic interest in Arabic culture, but does not play oud or violin, but they play guitar, which I was, or I'm still in the bass or in the core, a guitarist. I play the oud, I love it, but I'm a guitarist, so what shall I do? That was the big question. So I had so much thinking, and I had so much interviews around the subject, and finally I said, okay, let's have a guitar, but let's not fret it. Let's remove the frets of a guitar. And I made this sketch that you can see and talked to a Japanese manufacturer who's called Ibanez, one of the biggest guitar companies in the world. And they said, oh, interesting, let's try. And they took my sketch and they basically made a guitar that looks like this sketch. And that's it. They sent it to me, I tried it. It's like, wow, this guitar feels like a oud. I'm free, I can play quarter tones, I can move around, it's amazing. But still, I don't know. I mean, the Japanese was really happy. I had all kinds of interviews. I was all over the media with that and everything. But I thought, but what did I do actually? I still haven't answered my question. I mean, this is not really a guitar. It's like a guitar body, but it's an oud. So let's put the oud away. Let's forget the idea of the oud. I want something that is a guitar. So then we were thinking, and of course, you know, when you ask a Japanese to think, they stop the whole world and start thinking forever. Thousands of emails, millions of sushi. They have to go for their martial arts and break all woods available so the brain can think, you know. And then we thought, okay, where to go with this, you know. Okay, we don't want an oud, we don't want a fretless instrument, we want a guitar. And so we went to this fretboard that is divided in halves and thought, but what do we want to add here? We just want to add quarter tones, right? We have half tones. We just want quarter tones. So we need to marry these two things happily, in a way. So that was easy. I mean, the answer is there. It's in the question. Just put quarter frets in between the half ones, and you get this, right? Wasn't so difficult, but actually our conservative mind was not able to reach this from the very beginning. It took us a few years to reach this concept. And we did it, they did it. And we even called the guitar Sharqi, which means Oriental, and we put this calligraphy on the headstock of the guitar. You can see it here, next to the brand. They were so happy with it. I mean, we thought we invented something that's really cool. And we came up with a whole guitar that looks like that. It's an electric guitar that looks like a rock guitar. It's a rock, crazy electric guitar, but with quarter tones, as you can see the fretboard is. Of course, it has my name on it. It has the brand name. It has the model, significant. And this actually became my main tool of work. I loved it so much because I felt I don't have to become an oud player. I'm still a guitarist, and I can use this one to play Arabic music. And here it is with me today. I'm going to try it now and see if it sounds Arabic or not. So basically, it's an electric guitar like any other, that can play blues, for example. No difference than any normal electric guitar, except that it has quarter tones. Very Arabic, but I can move immediately to a rock thing. And back to the Arabic. So it's kind of, in one instrument, I could merge both worlds, you know, and I don't have to shift instrument all the time. I don't have to take it off, take it on. That's one. I can express myself in an Arabic way and in a Western way, and in any way I can. At least I have tones, half tones, and quarter tones on one instrument. And this actually became my main tool that I travel with all around the world. And I really went almost everywhere with this, from Europe, Umbria Jazz in Italy, to Indonesia,